Yo, what's up guys? It's Kevin Pack here, and today we're going to be talking about $1 million. Specifically, a more guaranteed way you can become a millionaire legitimately without doing too much work and it being still passive. This is something I've been doing recently, and it's not going to be a get-rich-quick scheme type of thing. It's actually quite the opposite. It's actually a lot more long-term. We're talking about setting up a Roth IRA for your retirement. Now, I know, yes, it's not going to be a very attractive topic because we want to be millionaires now, not tomorrow. We're talking about right now. But as I've grown up over the years, I've started to realize the importance of setting up our future financially and making sure that when we're old, we don't want to worry financially. We don't want to be 70 years old and worrying about bills or medical bills or anything like that. We want to be able to enjoy the rest of our, life that we have left. So in this video, I'm going to explain what a Roth IRA is, how it works, and how it can make you a millionaire by the age of 59 and a half. And you can start doing this while you're in your 20s to 30s. So what exactly is a Roth IRA? Well, it's not what people actually believe it is. It's not just an account where you open up and you just throw money in there and it starts making money for you. It's not like a high interest savings account like Wealthfront or Ally Bank, where if you deposit money in there, it'll grow by itself over time by like 1 or 2% per year. It doesn't work that way. This is a little bit more active where you actually have to invest. A Roth IRA is essentially kind of like a household for your money, where in this household, your money is basically tax-free. It's not going to be touched while it's sitting there and growing. Even when you withdraw it, you're not going to be taxed on this money. So it's more of a account type that's going to protect your money from taxes rather than like an actual process of making money. So a Roth IRA is a housing for your money, but inside this house, there is minor work to be done. And now this is where we're going to get into how a Roth IRA actually works. So when you deposit money into your Roth IRA account on a monthly basis or just a one-time thing, you can only deposit a certain amount per year. And that's going to be about $6,000 per year as of now. It's going to be adjusting over time. Before it used to be like 5,000 and now they've been changing it up. So over time it's going to adjust, but for now it's going to be only $6,000 per year, okay? And you don't have access to this money until 59 and a half. So everything you invest, you have to just keep in there long term. Now, when you put that money in there, it just doesn't sit there and start making money. There's a few ways you can do this, and to make money on your Roth IRA account, you're going to have to invest it into stocks, ETFs, index funds. Over time, after investing and reinvesting, your compound effect will eventually make you a millionaire, and then by 59 and a half, you'll be able to withdraw those funds. Look, don't be scared. I know I don't know much about stocks either, so you don't have to know anything about stocks or ETFs or anything I'm saying. Really, you don't have to know any of that because it can be done for you, or there's a very simple method that you can follow that will help you. There's really two ways you can go about it, but really there's unlimited ways you can go about it. But there's two main ways people go about it, which is like the easiest and the most safe way. And one is a mutual fund, which is basically where somebody is going to be doing all the investing for you. So you deposit the money and they will pick out all your investments for you that they think is going to make you the best return. Now, the only thing about this is that it's very hands-off. You don't have to worry about it, but they do get a percentage of whatever capital gains you make. So, if you're getting a 7% return per year, they might take like 3% or something like that, The other way you can do this is the way I'm actually doing right now, is a 3-fund portfolio, which is a very lazy way to just invest, but it's basically investing into the same 3 stocks or bonds and ETFs over and over and over. That's it. It doesn't matter if the market's going up or down. I'm just going to be reinvesting into the same types of accounts over and over. So these these 3 guys right here that I'm going to show you later are the only ones I'm going to be investing to, and you just do that over time. Okay, so right now we are under my actual Vanguard account, my Roth IRA. So I am using Vanguard. You guys can go to like M1 Finance to open up a Roth IRA. It's up to you. Usually I hear people recommend Vanguard or M1 Finance, and right now I'm choosing Vanguard. So it's up to you. You can pick whatever you want. Just make sure you pick a reliable source, a reliable company that doesn't have high fees as well. So check up on that. But right now we're on my Vanguard Roth IRA account. Okay, so you can see that I have 3 main investments right now. So I have a bond, a Vanguard bond, and then a Vanguard S&P 500 index, and then also a Vanguard international stock index as well. The VOO is the S&P 500 index, meaning that I'm invested into the top 500 publicly traded companies out there. And then the VXUS, that's a mouthful, is basically the same thing, but for the international market, okay? So it's basically just me investing in the market as a whole. And bonds are kind of confusing to explain, but in a general sense, they're just issues of debt, and they're usually safer investments, but they also don't have as many rewards as well. So I only have about $1,600 in this account because I just recently opened this up in like June. So it's only been like a couple months. I don't think it's even been a full 2 months yet that I've had this account open. But I have these 3 stocks that I've invested to. I bought 1 quantity of bond, 3 quantities of VOO, and then 12 quantities of VEXUS. And that's basically what my bulk majority of my portfolio is. So this is the lazy 3 fund portfolio where I'm just going to be investing into these same 3 types of stocks or whatever over and over and over, these same types of index funds over and over and over. And it doesn't matter if the market is going to go down to a recession, if everything goes down or everything goes up, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be buying on a normal basis, and I'm just going to buy into the dollar cost average. So what we're going to do is take a look at the S&P 500, which is a very, very popular index fund to get into. And if we go down into the ETF average right here, you can see here, this is a newer index fund, but you can see that on average since 2010, the return has been about 13%, okay? So that's a pretty good return over a year. It wasn't looking so good on the year to date because of everything going on. 1 year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, on average, the return on investment is about 13%, which is pretty damn good, okay? But I've heard on average that the return on investment is about 7% usually on Roth IRA accounts with this 3 fund portfolio, which is just holding up a S&P 500 and holding up a bond, and then also a international stock as well. Now, if we compare this to our money sitting into a high interest savings account, it starts to make sense why I would do this, okay? So, I wanted to diversify my money. I have money sitting in a high interest savings account, but it's only gonna be returning me, 1 to 2% per year, 2% if it's a good economy. When you look at this, a 13% return on investment per year for your money sitting there is I think it's a much better return. So I'd much rather have my money sitting in this account that I know I'm not gonna touch for a while, that's gonna give me better returns, rather than just having it sit in a high interest savings account that's gonna be sitting at 1 to 2% return per year. So this is going to be a game changer for me, and I think it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people if they are trying to look forward to the future and really make something out of their retirement fund. They really want to come out and actually have a good amount of money with some millions in the bank, Now, looking at my performance so far from the time that I opened it up to now, I've already made a $25 return on my investment, which is what? This is about 1.5% return on my investment already. So the year hasn't even been finished. It's only been like a month and a half or something like that, and I already have a 1% return, versus if I was in a high interest savings account, it would have had a 1% return throughout the whole year, or like for the whole year. So it's not 1% per month, instead it's 1% for the whole year. Versus this, I'm getting 1% per month, which is way better. But you gotta remember that there's a compound effect to this, meaning that for every dollar that I'm putting back in and every gain I make going back into my account, my growth starts to go more. It starts to compound over time. It adds more. So you're not getting, say you're not gonna get a 7% return on just $1,000 alone. You're gonna get a 7% return on $1,000. And then when you get that return, it's gonna be $1,000 and $7, $1,000 and $14. So over time, it's gonna compound more and more and more as more money is being put into your account. And that's why it's so powerful for this account to make a lot of money in the future. So now let's use a Roth IRA calculator to see how we're actually gonna use this to become a millionaire by the time we're 59. So I'm using this Dave Ramsey calculator that I found a while ago. And you're just gonna put in your basic information. It'll give you an estimate of how much money you will have made by the time you can withdraw your money from the Roth IRA. So let's say my current age right now I'm 24. And then the age I plan to retire is 59. Well, you know what? We might as well just put 60. We're just gonna put 60. How much have you saved for your retirement so far? We're gonna put 1,600. How much am I gonna contribute monthly? This is going to be 500 for now. And then what do you think the annual return would be? So we can be conservative. So right now when I looked at the VOO, it said the return would be about 13%. But I also mentioned before that the average return is about 7% when it comes to this kind of portfolio. So we're gonna put 7% to be conservative. We're gonna calculate that. Boom, right there. You can see right about $1 million is where I'm gonna be sitting with once I'm about 59, 60 or whatever. And that's gonna be tax-free money that I can just gain, and I don't have to pay any taxes. I can spend it on what I need, and it's gonna last me for the rest of my life. Now, let's say if we wanted to be a little bit more aggressive and we wanted to put like what the average we saw, which was about 13%, then we would see nearly $5 million in my account by the time I'm 60 years old. And that's just incredible. So I'd say we can just average that out between the 5 million and the near million to something around like the 2 million. So I could possibly have $2 million in my account after reinvesting over and over and having a compound effect. So you can see the initial balance was 1,600, and then the contributions that I've made have been at 200,000, and then the growth would be turned into $4 million, which is absolutely insane. And so there's a range of where we can end up on this, and also depends on the economy, but this is a more secured way of putting ourselves in the path of becoming a millionaire. And it may not be today, but it's setting ourselves in the future so that we will have enough money to not worry while we're old. Because again, when I'm 70 years old, I'm not trying to worry about money. You know, I'm trying out there, go live my best life and just relax, not have any more stress. I'm sure by the time I'm 70, I'm gonna be already stressed. So we wanna minimize that. So this is a thing that you guys should be doing. I really recommend you guys invest and open up into a Roth IRA account. Set yourself up for your future, just like what I'm doing now. So just a disclaimer overall, I am also not a financial advisor. This is just my own personal advice. So this is just something that you guys can try and do. It doesn't hurt to do it. So go ahead and let me know your thoughts and comments. Like the video if you like this kind of content. And of course, I will catch you guys in the next one. Go make that money, and God bless. Peace.